This is The Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.
Good morning, Tuscaloosa. Good morning, Tuscaloosa, Internet World, West Alabama. How are we doing today on a hump day, the day before Thanksgiving? Hope you guys all have your shopping done, got your cooking in the oven. Can't wait to have a great day with you guys today in the Darren Daniel State Farm Studios. It's the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central, BamaCentral.com, hanging out with you with our friends Brax, Garrison, and Mason Woods. You guys can see us on the Bama Central YouTube channel, on the Bama Central Facebook page, listening to us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. You can find the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central. We're going to have a lot of fun today talking about college football playoff rankings, talking about Hunter Yurachek. Look, Kane Womack. Kane, I hope you saw that broadcast last night and thought, do I really want to go work for that guy in Arkansas? Just stay. We love you here. Great defense. Don't be doing any of that. We'll talk about the college football playoff. We'll talk about Alabama and Auburn this weekend with Brax Garrison. We'll talk about the running game, and we will get into basketball as Alabama basketball bounced back last night, defeating UNLV 115-76 at 1:30 a.m. Is that when I went to? I think I went to bed at 1:15, 1:30 last night, and we'll do it all over again tonight with an 11 o'clock tip-off against Maryland.
Should be illegal.
Yes. Get out of here with all this.
It made me upset last night.
I was low energy at 12:15, sitting there, laying there with the dog. Like, come on, let's get back from halftime. We don't need no halftime. So we're going to have a lot of fun here today in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios. The show is brought to you by Purple Turtle Roofing. Call Purple Turtle Roofing today at 877-787-6635. You've got less than a month before Santa lands on your roof. You need to make sure that your roof is ready to receive all your gifts. You're going to have the reindeer stomping up there. You're going to have the big old heavy sleigh. Make sure your roof is in good shape by calling Purple Turtle Roofing at 877-787-6635. Yeah, 6635. I got like 5 phone numbers in my head. 877-787-6635. You can call Purple Turtle Roofing. And look, when Santa leaves, after you get your toys, call them they'll give you a free roof inspection. Make sure that Blitzen and what are the other Rudolph didn't stomp a hole through your roof. You can call them today. Brax Garrison will come out and check you out. 877-787-6635. Purple Turtle Roofing. Brax, good morning, man. How's your week? How are you doing?
I'm blessed, man. Happy to be here. Had some bad weather over the last few days, so been doing a lot of inspections as of late. And I'm excited to be here and talk some ball with you guys.
It was torrential 2 days ago. Yeah, no, yesterday. Yesterday it was. It was torrential downpour yesterday. So everybody make sure that your roof is good by calling Purple Turtle Roofing. You definitely need to get them out to your house before the holidays so that you can host your parties and have your fun and have a very peaceful Christmas day. Obviously, tomorrow, Thanksgiving. Brax, I'll throw the question I've thrown at most of the Alabama football people this week. What's your favorite Thanksgiving side?
Dressing.
That's a good pick.
100%.
There we go. Dressing. Now, I got to plead some ignorance here. Yesterday, my girlfriend and we had a kind of a busy day, so didn't talk too much, but talked. She posted, do you know the difference between dressing and stuffing? I do not. Do you? Does anybody?
I don't.
It's in the name.
Yeah, I don't think there is a difference, is there?
Stuffing is stuffed into the turkey.
Oh, okay.
Dressing
but
is
do
just
people
made.
actually do that? Though?
Some people do. Yeah,
People
I
actually stuff
don't
the
know.
turkeys.
People
I thought that
do,
was just
but
like a
not.
movie thing.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was
not
real.
for me. You just got to do the normal side dish of it.
Okay, great.
And then it's, but I also think it's a regional distinction as well. I think the South calls it dressing, and the North calls
like
it stuffing.
like a supper dinner kind of.
Yeah,
thing.
I think
like
so.
Some people call it supper. Some people call it dinner. Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like that's got to be the distinction right there. Stuffing is stuffed, and dressing is not.
There we go. Which version is the normal Thanksgiving stuff? Because Kalen DeBoer totally skirted my question. Oh, I like the normal Thanksgiving stuff. Thanks, Coach.
He definitely ate like a vegan loaf or something.
No,
they had like a tofu turkey.
Oh,
my
goodness gracious. A lot of the players yesterday saying mac and cheese, and I'm like, yeah, I feel
Good
you
pick.
guys. Don't eat too much mac and cheese on Thursday. You got a big game to play on Saturday, Iron Bowl, 6:30 on ABC. So we got a huge football weekend ahead. But to set up the football weekend, we got a new edition of the college football playoff rankings. Alabama did not move. Nobody really, I mean, a little shuffle. What? Oregon jumped ahead of Ole Miss. I think that was the only real shuffle in the top 10. You got BYU right there at 11, Miami at 12, Utah 13, Vandy 14, Michigan hanging out like a vampire at 15, ready to bite somebody. Beat Ohio State, beat whoever Indiana in the Big Ten championship, and vampire somebody. And of course, you got the Commodores. They got a big game with Tennessee this week, so they're going to be looking to get their last fine win, marquee win. Tennessee ranked 19th in the last night's playoff rankings. Just, okay, so last week I said, I understand why they did this. I understand why they dropped Alabama so low. And I still do understand it just from a TV rating, just from a reactionary standpoint. You lost to Oklahoma. We've got to drop you. You got this bad loss to Florida State. Florida State is now fighting for bowl eligibility after losing on Friday night to NC State. ACC, you got to stop playing on Friday night. You have to stop playing on Friday night. We think you're a high school conference.
That was the most catastrophic into a game I've ever witnessed. And I know we already kind of talked about it a bit, but that Florida State is just
Brax, they muffed a punt. One of their guys got hit in the head with a punt.
That's what we lost to. Yeah, that was our week one.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfathomable to think that that's the same football team that we watched week one, because we all sat here, Monday after thinking, oh man, that was a 10-win football team you just played. Florida State is back.
Absolutely. Yeah, I said that's a good loss.
Yeah.
It'll turn out to be a really good loss at the end of the year, and then it's completely the opposite.
So you got dropped down behind Notre Dame, and now a week after it's really settled, and hearing Hunter Yurachek talk for 2 weeks now, last night no better than the week before. Last week I was like, okay, it's just his first week being the committee chair. He's got to get in his groove. No, he is a silly person. He is not right. He is not very good in front of the microphone doing the 6'7" reference. Like, this is not a joke, sir. Like, I understand it's just football and the sun's going to come up tomorrow no matter what happens, but it's not a joke to a lot of people. And you're deciding who is in and who is out. Don't be sitting up there smiling, doing silly references and memes. This is not your time to be the star, Hunter Yurachek. But you've got him basically saying, oh, this week we compared Notre Dame, Alabama, BYU, and Miami all in the same pot, and we still came out with the same rankings. Hello, sir. Didn't Miami beat Notre Dame to start the season? I'm going to start right there. Doesn't Notre Dame play a half ACC schedule? They play a pretty comparable ACC schedule. I know Miami, you lose to SMU, you lose to Louisville on a Friday night, right, to Louisville. Mm-hmm. Stop playing on Friday night, ACC, high school conference. That's for Gordo and County High, and that's for Northridge, and that's for Hillcrest. Come on now. That's ridiculous. But you pretty much have a comparable margin right there. And BYU, they're sitting there like, well, we've beaten some of they beat Utah. They've ended up beating a couple of these ranked teams. I think they beat Arizona State as well. But so they're like, we got 2 ranked wins. We're only 1 loss. Well, you don't really have a huge resume, but it doesn't make sense really to have them below below Notre Dame and Alabama if you've got these ranked wins, sort of. But they're kind of setting up for, I guess, you go play Texas Tech again and you win, you're in, you lose, you're out.
I think a lot of this is let's set up some storylines to just get eyes on football games.
It just drives me nuts.
Because most of it, all of it, up until the final college football playoff ranking is completely inconsequential. And they can just toy with them as they wish. I do have to give a little pushback on Notre Dame, Miami. I think it's a bit disingenuous to act like those are the same football teams right now. Miami is in a much worse spot than Notre Dame is currently. I mean, Miami's been trending down. Their losses, those are objectively horrible losses.
No.
Those are bad losses. Louisville and what was the other one now?
SMU.
Yeah,
SMU is going to play for the conference title.
These are bad losses.
SMU is 8-3. Going to play for the conference title.
It's a whole lot worse than the number 3 team in the country.
Louisville 7-4. Okay, 4-4 in the league.
Notre
That's
Dame
not a good
loses
one.
Texas A&M by a point. And you take a freshman quarterback on the road to Miami week 1 and lose by what, a field goal?
Right. They're saying,
you played,
they-
I mean, near perfect football since.
I'll give you that.
No, Miami has played nothing close to perfect football since week 1.
Their last 3 games, they're on a 3-game win streak, bro, and they're going to get Pitt this week.
We'll see. Pitt shows up for ACC games. That's the only ones that matter.
Right. Unbelievable.
I bet Miami loses that game.
So really what this is pitting narratives against one another and getting opinions and getting people fired up.
That's why it needs to be relegated to a computer system.
You need to take how many you got athletic directors from all these power conferences, Nebraska athletic director, Arkansas, I wrote them down last night. Nebraska, Arkansas, 2 group of 5s, Miami of Ohio, MTSU. You've got who is the ACCs of Virginia and Big 12. Oh, I wrote it down. Utah, the Utah athletic director. So you've got all these athletic directors just like, well, our team, just put the computers in charge.
Yeah.
Just put the computers in.
I hate AI, but I think this might be one use case where we just throw an AI system together to answer all of the questions about the college football playoff, and it spouts out all kind of statistics just so nobody can really follow what's happening and have any sort of legitimate argument against it. Because I don't like what Hunter Yurachek has done in the position he's in. I think he's been really stupid up there at the podium. The thing last night was just the dumbest thing I've ever watched. But like
no mention of rushing yards this week, Brax.
It's also really absurd to just throw him out there and be like, hey man, explain these rankings 1 through 25 and go into the intricate details of why each of these teams are ranked over the other one and tell us about their entire resume leading up to no one person can track all of that.
No.
Drives me nuts. Brax, what'd you make of the rankings last night?
I don't really have a problem with them as of right now. Like you said, the Notre Dame, I mean, you can make that argument with Miami and Notre Dame because it's a head-to-head loss. But, I mean, if they played right now, who do you think wins that football game? If you think Miami and Notre Dame play right now, Jeremiah Love, the first 2 weeks was just non-existent. They weren't using him very well. Now he's looking like the Heisman front runner. So, yeah, I do agree with that. And then, so these are the standings right now.
Right now, you're looking at
this is who's in the top.
Right,
this is in the playoffs.
Let me pull your bracket so that you can just see what the bracket.
So the
looks
group
like.
of 5 things, just the G5 teams.
Well, they still get the 12th spot
because it's got to be the 5
de facto,
right.
which is ridiculous. Just
So
silly. Yeah. I had the bracket. I know I clicked like on it the other day. So
just make it. You can still just make it the top 4 ranked conference champions. I know that's going to severely limit the chance of the group of 5 to make it in there, but you're going to have a few years where one of those teams is sitting at
that's the bracket.
10, 11, 12 or something. Yeah. And those are the only times the group of 5 will even produce a team that's worthy of being in the playoff anyway.
Tulane at 24 gets in at 12.
Yeah. So
that's the DEI spot.
Our friend Brooks Austin had a really nice video on Twitter talking about it, where he basically just said, if you're telling me right now that you think 12 teams are better than Tulane, why are we putting them in the college football playoff that is used to determine which team is the best in the nation? It's just it doesn't even, you can't even it's a complete logical fallacy. You can't even explain it. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, take you back to Boise State last year. They were ranked 9th going into the college football playoff. But these programs, I'm sorry, but you're playing in the Mountain West. Yeah. And Tulane, you're in the American, right? Mm-hmm. You're playing group of 4. You're playing group of 5 ranked teams.
You had your chance to prove yourself when you played Ole Miss, and you got slaughtered.
Yeah.
Or even sure that, but you're not playing a balanced schedule. These schedules are imbalanced. Tulane, you're playing however many. Last year, Boise State played 9 group of 5 games. Mm-hmm. And then they played one FCS and one big boy team, Oregon, and they played Oregon close. And it's well, what do you think happens attrition wise when you play a Power 4 team week in and week out? Even if you're just say you're Iowa, you're still playing a much harder schedule than Boise State did last year. And Tulane this year, you've got this group of 5 schedule where you're playing a bunch of group of 5 teams. You got, Memphis on your schedule basically every week. And Memphis is fine, but it's not like you're playing Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Texas A&M. You're playing a bunch of Power 4. You could just stack up the bottom end of the SEC. Give me South Carolina, Arkansas, Kentucky. Give me those squads in a 8-game slate. It's still tougher than a group of 5 slate. It just is. And so you can't. to me, this is totally a DEI spot because, we just got to make everybody feel like they can win the title. Like, you can't win the title. You're not going to, like, yeah, you can be in at 12, but you're not going to do it. Your team is not going to be good enough to play with the top end of real college football. You're playing a different sport when you're playing a group of 5 schedule. So that drives me nuts to include teams like Tulane. And then you've got, North Texas and Navy all kind of hanging out there like maybe we can jump over them if Tulane do you really want to see North Texas in this college football playoff? The North Texas
Drew Mestamaker, I don't know.
Yeah, they're going to Oklahoma State.
Yeah, it's an absurd. I mean, I don't understand what that spot's for, but
go ahead, Brax.
Does it not make sense? Like, I thought about this the other night. This may sound ridiculous, but you have the Power 4 conference champions, and then the runner-ups. They all make the playoffs. That's 8 teams, right? I mean, that's the 8 best teams in the country.
Pretty likely.
Okay, and then you have the one spot for a group of 5 if you want to have the charity spot.
Sure.
One team makes it.
Yeah, if you've got whoever goes undefeated or something.
Yeah. And then you have 3 teams that are 3 Power 4 teams that are left out that you can get those last 3 spots. So you have like an Ole Miss, or you have a Vanderbilt, or you have a Miami, someone like that. I mean, does that not make – to me, it makes pretty good sense. But then you have the Tulane issue, and they don't belong there. You could put them – I mean, I would argue you could stack them up against anybody in the top 25 right now, and they would get slaughtered by them. That's kind of where we're at. That's kind of the way I feel.
Yeah, how you feel about Tulane, Texas Tech? Texas Tech is a 16-point favorite.
Yeah, I think it should be a 25.5-point line. I mean, I think it's going to be 63-7, 63-10. It's going to be a 8-score game, something like that. It's ridiculous.
This is all just the long con to get us to the 2014 playoff or something.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Put your tinfoil hat on for a second.
Yeah.
This is all somebody, pulling the strings up top, and it's just all right. We're gonna have, we go to 12, and then we're actually gonna have 18 teams that could all technically qualify for this playoff, and then they're gonna be so mad that we have to expand.
Well, the problem with that is if you do an 18-team playoff, they're going to say the 19th team's going to say,
it'll just keep going.
Nick Saban said it on College Game Day. So there's never enough spots. Like, there's never going to be enough. Not everybody's going to be happy.
We argue every selection Sunday in March.
Well, Brax, you're looking at this bracket. How many teams in this bracket can beat Ohio State?
Wow. This is
3.
I'm saying I think Georgia can beat Ohio State.
Sure.
I think A&M can beat Ohio State.
Maybe.
I think Indiana can beat Ohio State.
3, maybe. Yep.
I think, man, on a great day, 8 out of 10 times they don't, but I think Ole Miss can beat Ohio. I think there's probably 5.
Could be.
And there's 5 to 6 teams that can probably beat them.
That's how many teams need to be in the college football playoff.
Right.
Because I'm sorry, Notre Dame. I mean, maybe you bite them, but I'm sorry, Oklahoma, and I'm sorry, bad. Alabama.
Yeah.
I don't really feel good about Alabama's offense going against Ohio State's defense. You might end up having a 10-0 game because Alabama's defense is also good, but it's going to be
this offense. Like,
yeah, I have no.
Yeah.
What? I mean, what would that like? Jeremiah Smith is going for 250 against Alabama.
4 rushing yards for Alabama against that. Xavier Brown sticks with him a little bit, but he probably rips off 3 catches for 85 yards.
2 touchdowns.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
This Bama team, man, I guess that can transition us to if we want to talk about Bama more.
Well, I'm almost there.
I don't. They certainly right now. You are absolutely not hanging with Ohio State.
Yeah.
They're beating you 28-7.
Yeah,
that's
and that's with their foot like halfway on the gas pedal.
Yeah.
So the next move of this, they're going to stick to 12 for another year or 2, but this year is going to be the year
they'll start laying the groundwork.
That lays the groundwork for automatic qualifiers because you're going to have teams like BYU. We should be in at 10-1, at 10-2, even if we lose to Texas Tech in the Big 12 championship. This is going to lay the groundwork for we've got to define the parameters. We can't be using this eye test that Hunter Yurchek's talking. Well, we just feel. Well, we watch the games and we think that Miami's been playing better football lately, more consistent, so we bump them up a spot. Like this year is going to lay the groundwork for SEC. You get XYZ spots, 3, 4 spots. You're probably getting 3 spots for the SEC, 3 spots for the Big 10, 2 for the ACC, 2 for the Big 12. So that puts us at 10, right? And then you're going to get 1-8. one for the group of 5, one DEI spot, and one out at large to make sure that Notre Dame has a way to get in.
Can we just make can we force a scheduling parameters?
That's the other part of
it.
it.
Like can we tell teams, hey, no more Eastern Illinois, no more ULM, like you get to play your 8-9 conference games, whatever it is. Maybe we move to 10 conference games. I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Mm-hmm.
But you say you move to 9 conference games, your 3 other games, if you want to be in the college football playoff, they better be Power 4 opponents.
I mean, Ole Miss is a perfect example of this. Ole Miss played 3 group of 5 teams in an FCS squad. Look, just compare Georgia, Ole Miss, Alabama.
No.
Alabama, 2 Power 4 teams. And okay, I know Florida State and Wisconsin were bad. But
like,
2 Power 4
4
teams, 1 group of 5 spot ULM and Eastern Illinois FCS.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia plays your 1 Power 4 team, Georgia Tech. They got 2 group of 5s and 1 FCS, Austin Peay. And it's just like those 3 teams all play in the same conference. And you're judging them because what's going to happen? If Alabama wins this weekend, wins the Iron Bowl, you're going to Atlanta and probably playing number 3 Texas A&M if they can beat Texas. You beat number 3 Texas A&M. You're going to see the committee flirt with Alabama going to 4. Your Georgia fans are going to be angry because we got jumped. Oh, we've been on a 8-game win streak, whatever it is, 6-7 game win streak, and so whatever that is, and they're gonna say, well, we shouldn't be jumped over because we didn't get to play the extra game. We just beat Georgia Tech. Isn't that impressive? Ole Miss is gonna be pissed because we're 10-1. We're 11-1. We just beat the Egg Bowl. We're doing well. The only game we lost was to previous number 4, now number 5. We should be considered up there. But you played 3 completely different out of conference schedules, and I know Wisconsin and Florida State are bad, and they're probably both equal to Georgia Tech. Well, no, Georgia Tech a lot better.
Yeah, Georgia Tech's good.
A lot better than those 2 teams. But you cannot have the imbalance, just those 3 teams alone in the same conference. Ole Miss, you gamed your schedule by playing 3 group of 5 schools, and you played your FCS squad. Who cares? But are you better than Georgia? No, you lost on the field. You didn't force Georgia to punt 1 single time. You didn't get a turnover. You didn't force a stop 1 time in Athens, and so you're below them. Yeah. And then, well, if some buts, even if Georgia loses to Georgia Tech, I still feel like Georgia should be ahead of Ole Miss. But if you go to 10-2 Georgia versus 11-1 Ole Miss, and are you flip flopping those because Georgia lost to Alabama at home by 3 in September and a late game to Georgia Tech because Georgia Tech's been preparing for Georgia for the last handful of weeks. Well, the balance of the schedule is not right.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think that would go a long way to at least cutting down on the room for argument, because if everybody's playing comparable schedules, I understand that we can say, oh, Alabama, you got to play Wisconsin and Florida State. Well, whoever had to play Iowa and, whatever tough. But at the end of the day, if you're making everyone play the same baseline type of schedule where it is your 8, 9, 10 conference games plus your non-conference games are against Power 4 opponents, and you say, if you do that and you can qualify for the college football, that's how you do it, because then it's a lot harder to argue against it. It's much more objective.
I gotta move off this. Brax, you got more thoughts? More thoughts on the playoff, or we can move on. I don't want to cut anybody off here.
No, I think you hit all the points there, the big points. Yeah, I agree. It is a difference in schedule. And if they want to make it as close as you, but you're never gonna be able to, because everybody, you're gonna have a BYU that's gonna be screaming from left field saying, "Well, we're 10-1." The BCS era didn't have it right because it was kind of weird. You had the 2 best teams, but the scheduling was weird. You could kind of get by. There were some teams that were left out. I think the best thing we've had was the 4-team playoff. I mean, I think that was the best thing you could have. I mean, you had the 4 best teams in the country. It was based off your record and who you beat. And if you want to get technical and say we deserve to be in it, if you just go win your conference and beat everybody you play, you're getting the playoffs. It's that simple. Why are you a 2-loss team? And this is from Alabama saying, you're a 2-loss team. Don't lose 2 games.
Yeah.
Don't lose 2 games. If you want to be considered one of the best teams in the country, just don't lose 2 games. I mean, it's that simple. You've lost to Oklahoma, who's now ahead of you now. You lost to Florida State, who's in a dumpster fire in Tallahassee right now. They don't know if they want to fire their coach or keep him. They have no clue what they want.
Mike Norvell coming to Tuscaloosa next year. They already committed. They already committed to bringing him back.
Yeah, I know.
Can't wait for that.
I don't know.
How hot is that Bryant Denny Stadium day going to be? It's going. The crowd going to be fired up.
And I'm not saying a word next year because I going into this year, I was like, it's going to be a terrible day in Tallahassee for them. And then it was the complete opposite. Yeah.
Alabama fans have to match that energy that Florida State fans brought last year because they totally elevated the players and gave them belief and gave them energy. Brax, do you think the Bryant Stadium crowd is good or bad on average?
It's really
total sidetrack, but
yeah, it's really weird because if you go to like Knoxville, you can everybody you talk to that you can feel it in there. You can feel the atmosphere. And Bryant Denny's similar in size when it comes to how many people in there, but sometimes it feels like there's 110,000 people in here, but it feels like there's 30. You know, it doesn't feel like they're on top of you, like that everybody. I don't know. Sometimes it feels like you're playing an away game when you're in that stadium, and
we got to infuse this crowd with some desperation again.
They're front runners.
This desperation that Tennessee fans have felt for the last two decades.
100,000 front runners in Bryant Denny Stadium every Saturday. They're up when things are good, but they're down when things are bad.
Yeah, and that's the ridiculous thing about it. And it's just we were spoiled. I mean, Alabama fans were spoiled. We had Nick Saban since 2007, and at least my era, like my age, we never really experienced the dark days of Alabama. You know, so.
I don't think you can blame the fans for being that way.
You just won every year. Every year you expected to be the best team and if you didn't win a national championship, it was a scratch. Like it was a terrible year. But that's now everybody's kind of realizing, and they're not accepting the fact that that's not reality. Like for everybody else in the country, that has never been reality, and we're getting a taste of that.
Yeah, I mean, college football finally like the transfer portal, the NIL and everything, the even conference realignment. It's like everything has added to the, combined together to create a lot more parity in college football, which is nice. But it also has now created a complete jumble of confusion when we go to select the best teams in the country because there's a reason that we don't argue about which teams are getting into the playoffs in the NFL. It's because they have very detailed guidelines each season of this is what you have to do to make the playoffs.
Right.
We don't have that in college football. It is, here's a board of people, and then we're going to throw one guy out there to the wolves to explain it all to you.
Put your clown makeup on.
It's just absurd.
Brax, where you been this week with Purple Turtle Roofing? You been on some roofs? I know. What happens on a day where it's pouring? Are you guys like? And this is total ignorance. Are you guys just standing in the truck, or are you going out on roofs like measuring or testing for leaks and stuff? Like what was your week like? And specifically, what was yesterday like with the torrential downpour in West Alabama?
Yeah, we got a lot of calls yesterday about leaks from damage from a few months ago that now it's, we haven't had a lot of rain in the last, 5 months. So the first real pour we had, a lot of people called having some leaks, some issues. And I mean, if it's pouring, it's probably not the smartest thing to get on the roof while it's pouring because it does get kind of slick up there. But normally we let the rain stop. We kind of let it dry out. And then if we can't determine where the water's coming from the leak, we'll do a water test. So someone will get on the roof with a hose pipe and we'll spray in an area where we believe the water's coming from to find out exactly what the problem is. If it's a nail pop, if it's something to do with the flashing, anything, we're kind of able to determine what the problem is. But yeah, this week's been, yesterday was kind of chaotic. I was probably on more roofs than I have been in my entire life. But it's great. I mean, this is what we do. When storms hit, a lot of people are tucking in and going to their bunkers and they hear tornadoes. I'm outside looking for it, trying to find out where it's at. So
brave. Brave. We got to infuse some of your bravery into my dog who looks at the rain and says, "Nah, I ain't going out there today."
I got an English bulldog. He's a 70-degree bulldog. Anything under, anything over, he's not going outside.
They're spoiled. So call Purple Turtle Roofing today at 877-787-6635. They'll come check out your roof, do those leak tests, and make sure that you are ready for the next storm. There's always going to be a next storm. So if you think you're getting away with it for another couple of weeks, don't do that. That's not a very smart way to be living in your home. Go ahead and call Purple Turtle Roofing 877-787-6635. Before we move to the Iron Bowl, Brax, give you a couple minutes to talk about your impressions, your thoughts about Alabama's 56-0 victory over Eastern Illinois. Just some quick things that we talked about this week that you may want to touch on. We talked about the running game. Alabama, we talked about it last week when we talked about our impression. You went 269, 8 rushing touchdowns against the Panthers. 4 other FCS squads rushed for over 200 yards against this Panthers defense. So, well, you can address whether you thought it was positive in the running game and can it carry over into the Iron Bowl. You can address Ty Simpson's first half play. I wasn't very thrilled with it. Some people thought no big deal. But you're the quarterback. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Ty Simpson's first half play. Defense, you held them to 34 total yards. You gave up just 2 dadgum first downs all day long. You're an offense. You go into a game, you only get 2 first downs the whole game. Alabama's defense just on fire, even against the inferior competition. So just those 3 aspects, and just anything else you like or didn't like or thought about during the Eastern Illinois game.
I think last week, we said it's a big deal of getting the run game established this week, getting some confidence going into it. But obviously there's still holes in the game. There's still some holes, but I think that the guys up front were able to get their steps down, get a better push. And I think it is a confidence builder going into this week. And you can kind of see that, had several running backs rushing 5 yards a carry. And that's elite. That's what you want. But then you also look at who you were playing. Okay, there's 4 other FCS teams that have rushed for over 200 yards on them. So how impressive really is that? It wasn't an impressive thing that we were trying to do. It was just for us, for our sake.
Mm-hmm.
The Ty Simpson, shout out Kevin Riley, had a great game. County High kid.
Go Wildcats.
The Ty Simpson deal is, I understand people who are saying, it's not a big deal. It was a FCS game. We're not really worried about it. But from a quarterback, that's not a good way to roll into the next week, because that's the last thing you remember.
Mm-hmm.
Now those throws, they feel uncomfortable. You don't really feel comfortable in the pocket. You threw 2 interceptions. That's not good.
But the last one was a Hail Mary, Joe. That's what
right.
But your daggum end of half drive was just discombobulated.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Keep going.
No, you're good. No, but that's right. That's the last thing you remember going to the next week. Is I threw 2 interceptions, and it kind of eats away at you, and it does kill your confidence a little bit. So definitely not a polished game. Obviously it's 56-0. We expected that, but it was not a polished football game. But it is a week where you can make mistakes. It's like an inter squad in practice. Like you're having a scrimmage game, a practice game, and you're able to make mistakes without real consequences in a way. So it's good to get live reps, but no, it definitely wasn't polished, and I'm still not sold on the run game. Obviously, we ran the ball great, but I don't know. We got a much better defense we're playing this week. So.
Yeah. So, what do you think about our defense? Can that carry over, or was it more about Eastern Illinois being not good?
No, I think our defense is top notch. I think they're top 5 in college football right now, and not 4th through 5. I think we're probably the best defense in the country over the last 5 weeks. I think it's been self-explanatory. So yeah, I think it's a national championship worthy defense. And it wasn't that way, like the first 4 weeks of the season, first 4 games, it was kind of the other way around. We were, defense looked kind of struggling. Offense was kind of, besides week 1, obviously. But, the defense looks great. Kane Womack has done an incredible job, especially on 3rd down situations and short yardage. It's a stalemate. That's very impressive to do, especially, and in the red zone, too. We tighten down in the red zone. Or I should say they. I can't keep referring to as we. Like
it's all right.
Like I'm a part of the team. But yeah, I don't know. I am worried because again, it's an FCS team. You don't really get a good look. You do because you're playing against live bodies and another team besides your own players. But how much of that is going to transition to the next week? So I don't know. It could be a great thing. It could hurt us. We'll have to see.
Well, you're a West Alabama man. It's a perfect transition. What are your thoughts on the Iron Bowl traditionally? And then we'll talk about this week specifically. How do you feel about going up against Auburn, Jordan-Hare Stadium, just the Iron Bowl as a whole?
Man, obviously, to me, you have the game in Michigan and Ohio State, but we're not worried about it. This is the South. This is Alabama, Auburn. This is the mecca of rivalry in college football. There's nothing else that compares to it, really in any sport. In my opinion, I love it. I think that's a great thing. But you go to Jordan-Hare every year and you never know. Now whether we're 11-0 or they're 0-11, it's gonna be a ball game every year. It doesn't matter. What was it? 2012 we beat them like 49-0. Was that it? Yeah, that's the last time I remember a game really getting out of hand. So, yeah, it's just one of those games where there's some kind of voodoo surrounded by the game. There's like a voodoo around it.
Good memory. It was 2012.
Was it 2012? Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's gonna be a football game, and the way Deuce Knight played last week, and I don't know if he's gonna start this week, but Ashton Daniels obviously has looked really well too. Since the change in the head coaching field, I don't know. I think it's gonna be an interesting game to watch for sure.
Yeah, they said that Ashton Daniels is going to start, but I'd imagine there's going to be some moments where Deuce Knight gets in there, a little quarterback run action, little red zone area. So it's going to be a dogfight over in Jordan-Hare Stadium. Tim Keenan yesterday is reminding everybody the fans can't tackle. The fans don't make any plays. The fans can't run any routes. It's just about the players and the coaches, as my computer clicks all over the place. So what do you make of the atmosphere and like the voodoo and this? Matt Stahl, AL.com wrote about it this past week about is Jordan-Hare haunted. I think it was actually a really good piece and so really interesting. We heard, or we're going to hear from Peter Radicus tomorrow from AL.com. He covers the Auburn Tigers. Alabama is a 6.5-point favorite on the road. I asked some people yesterday, and some of my colleagues, and they said, no, I'm not worried about it. Auburn's a bad football team. And I said, oh, are you sure? So what do you think about just the atmosphere? Is it haunted? And really just what it does to a player? I mean, you played in some hostile road environments in your football playing career. What really, can you block out the noise? How do you block out the noise? Just some of those topics and some of those thoughts.
Well, when you watch a scary movie, that weird feeling you get.
Somebody's really following me.
Right. That's what it felt like. I went to the Iron Bowl 2 years ago, and it was that kind of feeling. It's a spooky place, and it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like it does at home. But yeah, what Tim Keenan's saying, I understand that from on paper, right? The fans don't run the routes. The fans aren't making tackles. The fans aren't throwing passes. Well, of course not. But when you go play somewhere like that with 90,000, 85,000 people that hate you, that they're your biggest enemies, they can't stand you, they hate everything about you. You go play with a team like that in that environment, it does make a difference. I mean, it does make a difference because you're not only worried about them as a person, it's that you hate them so much and don't want them to have any joy that if you make a bad play or you lose, it's going to be the worst thing ever, and you're going to hear about it for 364 days until you play again. So no, it does make a huge difference, and I think it's bad blood through and through because a lot of these guys played each other in high school or played with each other in high school, and now they're it's kind of a. I mean, it's Alabama Auburn, man. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. So the fans do play. I don't know if it's necessarily the fans or it's just the atmosphere of the game. It's the history of the game. So
I'm with you. I think if you asked Tim Keenan about like what he would think of the home fans and whether they help or not, he'd say, "Yeah, we love when the fans are into it. It gives us a lot of juice and energy." So like the fans have something to do with the game. They are not directly affecting what a player is thinking about play to play, but they have something to do with the game. Momentum is a very real thing. The crowd gets into it, and once you feel once things start to snowball, it gets tougher and tougher as that crowd really barrels down on you. So like it is a very real thing in this game.
Brax, tell us about 2 years ago, 4th and 31, Gravedigger. What was your perspective?
So at the time, I was at that game, and I was ready to get out of there. Once we had that, I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah, of course.
I was getting out of the stadium because I knew I'd been running my mouth the whole game, talking crazy. I was on the Auburn side. I mean, I was talking, because the opening drive, we marched down the field, and I'm like, this is about to be horrible. I mean, this is going to be a terrible game. And then we get all the way down there. So I'm working my way out of the stadium. I'm walking down the bleachers. I'm getting all the way down. And as I look up, I just stop. I'm like, I had this weird feeling. And I look up, catch, and like for a split second, the whole stadium went silent. And then you heard the 20,000 Alabama fans that were in there. It felt like it was 100,000 people. It was incredible. I mean, it was one of one of those things where, like, you weren't there. I remember exactly where I was at for the kick six. Remember exactly what was going on, my reaction, everybody in my house's reaction. Yep. And this is one of those things where I remember everything about that. So it was nice to be on the other side of the coin for once, as an Alabama fan.
I can still hear Brax, my ex-wife, yelling, "Can he do that? Can he do that?" As Chris Davis is running down, I'm like, "Yeah, baby, he can do that."
Yes,
yep, that is a legal play, and I just walked out the back door.
And I remember all the bozos back in the day were like, "Oh, he stepped out. Oh, his foot touched the line."
Nah.
They reviewed it for 20 minutes.
Dude, I mean, like, don't you think it's like, yeah, okay, there's times in football where the referees may have made a bad call, but that's not a call you can mess up. Like, if his foot steps out, they're going to call it. They're going to stop the play.
Now, the block in the back, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, that what was it, Cade Foster we had at that time, and it was Adam Griffith that made they put in the game.
Yeah,
so we took Cade Foster out because he missed 3 field goals that game. And me and my dad were sitting there talking about it at the time. We were like, if Cade Foster's in the game, first of all, that kick probably doesn't go that far. It probably hits a cheerleader on the sideline. But if he were to kick that ball, there's a better chance he makes that tackle because he's a bigger guy, a little bit more of an athletic guy, that he makes that tackle on the sideline. But, Adam Griffith, that guy, that's not going to cut it.
Yeah, I mean, Cade would have had the leg to at least miss the field goal, but still kick it out of bounds.
Yeah, right. Poor kid, man. First field goal, first attempt in college.
That was a tough one. Well, I mean, just like objectively speaking, which play is better, that or Gravedigger?
I think it's the kick six.
I think, unfortunately, it is the kick six.
110 yards, 109 yards.
I do think there's some argument there. But, I mean, like, 2 of the craziest plays in the history of college football have come from this rivalry.
Yeah, and I think the Gravedigger is, like, more of a, how could Auburn let that happen? It's like, how do you mess that up? Like, you rush 2 people, and literally your only job in the end zone is just not to let anybody get behind you. Like, just don't let anybody get behind you, and you win the football game. And somehow they do. The kick six is like, okay, we've got a bunch of big, fat offensive linemen out there trying to tackle this guy who's a DB. Like, that's kind of like a recipe for disaster. So,
you think Ty's got a Gravedigger throw in if he needs it?
I think he does. I hope he does. I hope we don't need it, but
I don't know that he's got one.
Didn't sound very confident yesterday on the Bama Central YouTube channel. You guys can check out all the player availabilities. We talked to Tim Keenan, Deontay Lawson, Ty Simpson, Ryan Williams, and Caden Proctor. Oh, Caden Proctor said MFer right here in his press conference because I asked him about the athletic offensive or defensive front that Auburn has. And I said, well, how do you deal with the athleticism? And he said, well, it's a mother bleeper. And I was like, yeah, it is. So, Brax, you're the offensive coordinator. You get to put on your Ryan Grubb hat. You're going up against a defense that has really high-level play in the front seven, but the back end is pretty susceptible, pretty gettable. What changes, or what do you think that you would do? How would you orchestrate this Alabama offense? You know the problems that you've had in the run game. You're really inconsistent. You know you're going to be without Josh Cuevas, your most consistent offensive player, probably outside of Jeremy Renard. And so what do you get? How are you changing things this week? Are you changing things at all? What would you do to get after a defense that's really, really nasty up front, but pretty daggum gettable in the back end?
Well, you got to keep the ball as far away as you can from the core of the defense, like the front seven. So, like, you spread the ball around, like whether it's you're throwing screens, tunnel screens, trying to spread the ball out to make DBs make tackles, make safeties come down and make plays. And then obviously you want to be able to establish the run so you can throw in the play action. But if you can't run the football, no one's going to give you that respect that we have to stop the run. So if we're able to do something up front to where we can just get some kind of, threat of running the football, that way you can start opening it up and doing some play action and getting the defense to drop down, and then you can throw it over their head. It's kind of like the Oklahoma game. It's a similar defense to Oklahoma. I mean, it's a nasty front seven with their secondary was questionable, but we made them look good.
Yeah. I think this Auburn secondary is worse than Oklahoma's.
Right.
But their front might be a little better.
Right. Yeah. So, it's kind of the same look. You have to hit them. You have to give what they take what they give you. Right. If you gotta take 5-yard hitches the entire game to beat them, take it. Don't get greedy. Take it. If you've got to throw tunnel screens 4 times a drive to get yards, get first downs, do it. Like, whatever works. Don't go away from it. Don't get greedy. Don't try to force the ball downfield. Don't try to force the ball across the middle just because that's what you're you've done the best at all year. Like that may not be the case this week, but just take what they give you. And like Ty, I mean, yeah, I'm worried about that, man, because he doesn't seem real confident coming into this game. I think that last week game where the 2 interceptions, like I said, I think that does play a factor on your mental space going into a big, and especially this is his first Iron Bowl. This is like, look, dude, you've played great. You've played in some big games this year, but this is like whether they're 0-11 or they're 11-0, like this is the biggest game you're going to play all year. This is going to be more nerve-wracking than the national championship in a way. Because this is like life or death.
Do the stakes get into your head? If we win, we're going to Atlanta. If we win, we're going to Atlanta. We're playing for a playoff spot. Do the stakes get into your head, Brax, as a player?
I think so. Yeah, I think people try to say it's just another game. I think that's crap. I think everybody that's ever a coach or a player, it's just another Saturday. That's crap, man. That's not real. Each game's different. Each game is individually different and more impactful on your mental psyche. So, yeah, I mean, I think that you know what happens. If you win this football game, you're going to Atlanta to play for SEC championship, and you have a chance at the college football playoff. You know that. If we lose this game, it's the same repeat as last year. It's the same thing.
Going to daggum Tampa.
Right. So that it's the same exact. I mean, you got to know what's going on. There's a lot of pressure. And like, Aaron Rodgers once said that the biggest way, but the biggest way to conquer pressure is just to accept it. Like, don't fight it. Don't try to find a way. Don't look up YouTube videos like I did at 12 o'clock at night trying to overcome pressure. Just accept it. Like, it's a big moment. It's a big game. Accept that fact. And that if you've prepared all week, all year for this moment. If you fail, you fail. Like, at least you knew you were ready for it.
Yeah.
So there's no point in looking at it like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. It's just another week. No, it isn't. It's a huge week. It's the biggest week of the year. This week is the biggest week of the year. So accept that and just go play ball. I mean, it is what it is. So, yeah. But if you ever hear a coach, if DeBoer ever gets out there and says, it's just another week, we got to do what we got to do.
Nameless, faceless opponent.
Yeah, it's crap.
I hate
it's
that
crap.
so much. I wish they would just be honest.
Yeah.
Brax, I'm in the facility yesterday after our player availability, and I'm wearing the hat I'm wearing now. If you're watching it on YouTube, if you're listening to it, it's one of my Bears hats. And Clinton Dix walks by. I'm just bringing this up because of your Aaron Rodgers mention. Clinton Dix walks by, and he stops, and he looks at me, and he goes, "Take that bleep off." And I said, "Hey, man, you played for Chicago."
Yeah.
He drafted by the Packers. And he's like, "Yeah, man, I only did it for the money." And we both laughed. I mean, he was smiling when he said, "Take it off," And so he walked on. And I just thought, Bears, Packers, it never dies.
Mm-hmm.
I
think
so what would you do? I mean, I'm sorry. I got one more question. If you're Ryan Grubb, I mean, you said embrace the pressure. You tell, get ties going a little bit. What are you telling him to, like, hey, man, the last few weeks were not so hot, but like you still are Ty Simpson. You're still that guy, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna what throws you? Like, what are you like? How is that? How does are you trying to amp him up? Are you trying to calm him down? Are you trying to whisper confidence into his ear? Are you trying to red face and you're like, well, what's the if you're Ty Simpson, how would you like to be coached, or what do you think would build the confidence, get you ready to go into that nasty environment?
It all depends. If it's me, every player is different.
Sure.
And every player, the way they respond to adversity and the way they respond to coaching is different. So I think you just go back in practice this week, like the whole week, you just go back to what he's comfortable with. You find throws that he's done all year that he feels comfortable. And the conversation goes, hey, man, like, you don't even bring up the last 2 weeks.
Sure.
Don't even talk about it. Like, don't even talk about it. Ignore it. Like, wash it. It's over. We're done. Don't talk about, hey, I know you've had a couple of rough weeks. Because as soon as you say that, you're going to replay every bad throw you've made the last 2 weeks. So then you just say, hey, man, look, we got a big one this week. Like, go play football. Like, you've done your job all year. You've got us here. You've got us to this point. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be here.
Daggum right.
Right. Go play football. Go play football. Be yourself. You've been preparing for this since you were 9 years old and playing quarterback in Little League football. You've been preparing for your whole life. Like, this is you. Let's go do it. And yeah, you just you make things really, you do the basic things in practice. You let him make throws, see his throws through, get really comfortable. And then you go to the game, and then some players thrive in atmospheres like this, and some people fold, some people break. And then we're going to find out what Ty Simpson's made of. And I'm willing to bet this guy's made for the fire. Like, he's made to go walk through the fire and go play football. He just, the way he carries himself. Last couple of weeks, I have been kind of disappointed in the way he's responded to, negative plays where he kind of seems like he's sulking a little bit. He's dropping his head. He's kind of wide-eyed. Jalen Hurts is the biggest thing, the biggest
Stone cold
example of that. Bryce Young too, when he was in college.
Yep.
And you can say what you want to about either one of those guys, but to me they're fantastic. After every play, Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl, and now that's a little bit extreme, obviously, but he throws an interception. It's the same face if he throws a 70-yard touchdown. It's just stone cold. It's not too high, not too low. And I'm all for emotion. Like I was a player who played off emotion. Like I loved it. I loved the feeling of it. But you can't get too high or get too low. Because you get too high, you forget about what you're there to do, and then you have 3 or 4 bad plays, and the game's turned around on your head. You get too low, you're not going to be able to compete the rest of the game. You're out of it. And yeah, just like Ty Simpson, go play football again. Like we just said, if it wasn't for him, we're not here right now. We're sitting at the house. DeBoer's probably over a bonfire right now as a sacrifice. So. So I think the guy's gonna be fine. I believe in him.
I think I'm with you. I think that's probably the best way you handle. Anytime like this conversation gets brought up, it is burned into my memory. Steve Sarkisian pulling his kicker aside before, I think it was the kick against Arizona State. It was Arizona State last year, and and then the kid goes out there and just it completely misses the kid. And it's like, if you just treated it normal, he probably goes out there and nails it. But the fact that you changed up the routine and you acted like, oh, hey, man, this is a huge deal. It's like, just take it easy. Like you said, it's go through your routine, Ty, get comfortable, call up some. I think you have an opportunity against this Auburn offense because I think they're a little weak in the middle, not the defensive front, like your linebackers, where you can probably draw up some quick, easy completions for Ty to get going in this game. And maybe, if you draw those up to guys like Ryan Williams or Lazier Brooks, even maybe a Rico Scott, if you want to get him involved, like some of those guys are liable to break one of them for 40, 50 yards and a touchdown. And then your confidence is really, really high. So I think I'm right there with you. Like, yes, it is you have to recognize the amount of pressure that is on this game, what is at stake, and what it means for the rest of your season. Like, you can't shy away from that, but also that doesn't mean you have to change your preparation really.
Right.
We're hanging out with Brax Garrison of Purple Total Roofing, and you can call Purple Total Roofing at 877-787-6635. At Purple Total Roofing, we're not just another contractor. We're your neighbor and your advocate when it comes to protecting your home and business. With years of hands-on experience, top-tier certifications, and a commitment to excellence, we've built a reputation as Alabama's go-to roofing solution. We specialize in residential roofing, commercial roofing, emergency storm repairs, full-on roof replacements, insurance claim supports, and more. So call them today at 877-PT-ROOF-5. That's 877-787-6635. Roofing with heart, built to last. Brax, you see the awning or roof that went down in Tuscaloosa yesterday? The hotel, there's a hotel that lost that lost part of its roof. So maybe y'all are gonna get a big old call. Nice. What's the Thanksgiving week look like? You guys are still on call even tomorrow? What's the deal look like with Purple Total Roofing?
Thanksgiving is a little bit different, and
sure.
It's like Christmas too. Like everybody's gonna be at home. I don't want to bother anybody while they're at home and they're eating with their families. But obviously, if someone has something crazy happen, we're going to be there. We'll pick up and go. But yeah, I'm not going to bother anybody on Thanksgiving. So if you hear somebody knocking on your door tomorrow, it's not me. It's definitely not me. I'm going to go eat some stuffing / dressing, whatever you want to call it. And that's about it.
And so I call you not on Thanksgiving. I call you on Black Friday, 877-787-6635. And I say, man, we had some rain this week, and I wonder if my roof is messed up. I wonder if, got a little spot in my ceiling. I'm concerned. What happens next?
Well, I'll get an idea. You'll ask you a few questions. I'll find out how old your roof is.
15 years old.
Right. So you're in that prime age that it's more than likely if you're in Tuscaloosa, over the last 8 months, we've had several storm dates. So it's probably been damaged, and it's at that age to where in Alabama with the heat and the humidity that we have, it's probably worn out and it's probably time for a new roof. So I'll come by, I'll take a look at it, probably do a temporary repair just so if you have a leak, water's not flooding through your kitchen into your house. And then we'll go through your insurance and we'll hopefully get a full replacement paid for.
Well, I got Derek Daniel State Farm Insurance. So we're set. You guys can work nicely together, I'm sure.
Right.
But you work nicely together with pretty much any insurance company.
Oh yeah, they pay the bills. We're really nice to them.
That's right. Call them at Purple Turtle Roofing, 877-787-6635. Before we transition to a very quick basketball segment, you want to make a pick for this Iron Bowl?
I'm one for, what am I, 1 for 2, 1 for 3, 1 for 2 on this?
You got Eastern Illinois. Unfortunately, missed the Oklahoma matchup. That's okay. That's all right. A lot of people did.
I missed the Texas Georgia. That was the bad one.
That's okay.
Texas.
We don't care about any of these other games.
I tried to tell y'all
I'm gonna say what are we, 6.5 point favorites?
6.5 on 6:30 on ABC.
I'm gonna say we cover.
I like it.
I'm gonna say we win by 7. I genuinely think I think Vegas got it down to a side. I think we win by 7 points. I think we win by 7 points. It's a fourth quarter rally. We win by 7 points.
35-28. Are you feeling 21-14?
I think, well, the way Auburn's defense has played the last couple of weeks, I'm thinking, I don't know what's going on with DJ Durkin. I don't know if he's more focused on the offensive side of things.
That's right. That's exactly right.
I kind of just forgot about the defense a little bit. But I'm thinking a 24-31 game. 24-31.
Roll Tide. Alabama winning 24-30, 31-24 down in Auburn would send them on to Atlanta. So let's take a quick blitz segment because holy smokes, last night was late. Last night, Alabama beats UNLV 115-76, and we'll play Maryland tonight at 11 p.m. We are not going to do a basketball recap tomorrow. We're going to be talking to Peter Radicus of AL.com only about Auburn football, so it's going to be a straight-up Auburn segment tomorrow on the Joe Gaither Show, Bama Central. You'll see that on all the platforms you always see it on. Mason, I didn't care about last night at all because UNLV didn't have a single body that could challenge Aiden Sherrill or Lurch or Taylor Bowen or Keaton Bristow. Yep. So, like you did, you got after on the rebound. You won 48-28 on the rebounding. You got 14 offensive rebounds. You only gave up 10 offensive rebounds. So, like, woo, it's all fixed. Everything's good. But UNLV was just outmatched.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is, what we talked about with Alabama and Eastern Illinois. We're like, this is an opportunity to kind of flex a bit and, like, see your offense and see your defense at its maximum capacity, and they didn't do that. Alabama basketball did do that against UNLV. You were playing against a far inferior opponent who did not match up with you well physically at all, and you took complete advantage of it from the beginning of the game to the very end. Alabama played as well as they could have in this game. I think they didn't really leave anything there on the table for me to be upset about. They responded really well to a tough loss. The physicality was great. Again, they didn't match up with you well. We knew this was going to probably be a bloodbath going in, but regardless, you handled your business and you pulled out a 30-point win or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think this was at 34. 20. What's 24 and 15 is 39, right?
40 points.
So right there. Aiden Holloway with 26 points, 5 of 6 from the 3-point line. Really, really good to see him get going because he's had a cold couple of games, and so hopefully he can carry that shot further. Yeah, Houston 4 of 12. He was just firing that thing. Firing that thing. London Jemison, 18 points, 2 of 3 from behind the arc. So good look for the freshman last night. Noah Williamson got himself 18 minutes. I think Nate's just like, hey man, this is the opponent.
That's the best he's played all year. I'll give him that. It was still not great, but there were stretches in there where he looked competent.
You got people online that are well, he might be getting some confidence.
Some of the passes were pretty nice. Like, I mean, he definitely, I think he has decent vision. He struggles athletically. He's not the fastest guy out there. He doesn't seem to shoot the ball overly well.
You can't catch. You can't dribble. You can't rebound.
But you did at least see a bit of his vision last night. So maybe he can be a guy who is a deceptive facilitator.
If he can just focus on one thing, rebounding, just body position and rebounding. I don't give a rip about
body position is a big thing.
Yeah,
he's never in the right spot.
I don't give a rip about him not scoring points. I don't care.
Yeah.
But you're 7 foot, box somebody out and go get a dozen rebounds.
He is every time the ball bounces off the rim, he is on some dude's outside hip, just getting boxed out. I don't know what it is. I don't know how you coach that because I'm not a basketball coach, but there's got to be something to figure out because you've done it with Aiden Sherrill seemingly. You've kind of gotten there with Taylor Bowen a bit. So, like, someone somewhere has to teach him when the ball goes in the air, make sure someone is behind you.
Taylor Boboan winning the hard hat last night, 12 points, 7 rebounds, 7 defensive rebounds, ended up with a block and a steal as well. So Alabama took care of business, beating UNLV, bouncing back tonight, going up against Maryland, 11 o'clock tonight. So as you guys are making sure the turkey looks good, making sure all the food is set and putting the kids to bed, 11 o'clock again tonight against Maryland. Ken Palm has, nasty, Brax, just nasty. Like, how many cups of coffee does it take to, I mean, you're younger than me, but like I was sitting there like a dead man on the couch, like,
Yeah, I didn't watch a lot of it. That's too late for me.
I made me a 10 o'clock trip to the old gas station. Had to pick up some energy drinks to get me through that game, and I still didn't make it.
Unbelievable.
I didn't really notice this as I was watching it, but I'm looking at it now. Davion Hannah was just a ghost out there.
Yeah, played hard, but got himself dinged up a couple times.
Yeah, I mean, 24 minutes, you come away with a rebound and an assist.
Hey,
let's go.
I mean,
it was too late for him.
That is Tony Snell numbers out there. Like that's the meme of 25 minutes, 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assist. Like that's crazy. He has been a guy that really, like I said, I didn't even notice it when I was watching it because he seemingly was playing really hard. He was hustling around. He was kind of diving for loose balls a bunch, but just didn't really make his impact felt on this game. That's crazy. Hopefully he'll bounce back a little bit tonight if he's able to go. I know like you said, he got dinged up a little
just
bit.
a little here or there. Alabama scoring 149 on the offensive end and holding UNLV to .987. So we're getting closer to that range of the .8 range that you want to see Alabama in. 81 in Ken Palm for Maryland. Alabama has moved up to 16 with the win. Alabama's offensive efficiency 7th, defensive efficiency 31. So not too bad right there. Creeping back up. A good defensive efficiency night after a bad one against Gonzaga. Maryland's offensive efficiency 107, defensive rating at 57. They play really, really slow, 210th in the country in tempo, 60 nice possessions per game. You got the old Kenny Pomeroy saying that Alabama is going to win 87-76. I'm going to take it even further. I think Alabama is going to get another 100-point night and end up at 180. There's 20 points right on the dot.
I don't hate that. I mean, I'm looking, I'm kind of doing the same thing I did yesterday. I'm running through. I have not watched Maryland this season.
Of course,
I'm not going to act like I have. But just looking at the way they match up physically, they do not match up physically with Alabama. There's one player on this roster taller than 6'9".
Alex Alston is 6'10" freshman.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be probably another game where, hopefully, we see Alabama play to its max potential here.
Pharrell Payne, 6'9", 250-pound center playing for them, senior center. So that's kind of your matchup right there. Let's see what do you got, Pharrell Payne? Minute percent. Oh, I don't want percentages. I want actually. Do you have their points per game and stuff right there that you're looking at? I want Pharrell Payne points and rebounds.
Pharrell Payne, 17.8 points, 6.7 rebounds.
All right, so there's Aiden.
That's your guy right there.
Right there. But you also tower over him by like 6 inches.
They do have 4 guys averaging double-digit scoring a game, so that's not nothing, I guess.
What's Guillermo Del Pino averaging? Because that's a great
1.7 points.
Dang it, Guillermo!
He's not playing. He's less than 9 minutes a game, but that is a great name.
Dang it, yeah. He's playing 11% of point guard minutes. Their point guard David Coit, 5'11", 180, playing
good shooter, 44% from 3.
70% of his minutes coming from the point guard spot. Isaiah Watts playing 58% of the shooting guard moments. So I think this is going to be another game where Alabama runs them off the floor. If you got to go to bed early, I don't blame you.
Might be a good one too.
Yeah. Brax, anything else you got for us? How about that? Boom. Whoops. Brax, you want to tell the people about Purple Turtle Roofing one more time before we get out of here?
Yeah. I mean, like we've said a few times, we're here to help. We'd love to help y'all out. We're getting to the time of the year where I know Christmas is coming around, so a roof may not be your biggest priority right now, but
it should be. Santa's got to land on that bad boy.
And you'd rather be safe than sorry. And again, we're here to help. This is what we do for a living. This is what we chose to do. Everybody that lives in the house has got a roof, so they're not permanent. They're not forever. They're going to have to be repaired. Going to have to be replaced. So we're here to help. We would love to just give us a call, and we'll do everything we possibly can to help you out in time of need for sure.
Well, we appreciate you hanging out with us, and hope you have a great Thanksgiving. What are you thankful for?
Thankful for family, thankful for football, thankful for roofing, thankful for a lot. I'm very blessed, and I definitely don't deserve what I have. But I'm very blessed, and it's a great time of year for sure.
That's a perfect place to end it. Call Brax, Garrison, and Purple Turtle Roofing at 877-787-6635. Share the show with your friends, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify, whatever platform you like to listen on. Find the Bama Central YouTube channel. There will be no SEC coaches teleconference today. No teleconference today. So we've heard our last SEC coaches teleconference. No call with Coach DeBoer today. Sorry, Steve Moulton. It'll be okay. We're going to have a great time tomorrow, Thanksgiving Day. We will have an episode for you with Peter Radderkus, AL.com. We're going to play it pretty daggum early, so we'll play it on all the platforms pretty early, 6:30, 7 o'clock, and we'll have it live for you on all your favorite platforms, the Bama Central YouTube channel, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify, and we hope you all have a great day. I got to get to cooking. I got a lot of cooking to do because I'm trying to impress some people, so we're going to have a lot of fun the rest of the day, and we hope you do as well. We'll talk to you tomorrow right here on the Joe Gaither Show, Bama Central, BamaCentral.com.
Thanks for joining us on today's edition of the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central. Keep up with Joe on all his social media pages at Joe Gaither6. Subscribe, rate, and review the show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and be sure to read us daily at BamaCentral.com.